Hello, this is Gareth from IGN. I'm here with Chris and Steve from Playtonic Games. Guys, how's it going?
It's going really great. It's going really well with the Kickstarter. It's just been amazing. We're just overwhelmed by the reaction.
Yeah.
And just stunned. So it's great to be here to play through some of the stuff we've worked on in the past.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the Kickstarter in a second, but this is a game you guys worked on. When did you work on this? Banjo-Kazooie?
97 to 98, that'd be.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was originally scheduled to launch just before Christmas '97.
Yeah.
But it was never going to make that date. So 6 months later, was it June? June '98.
That was.
I mean, the last time I spoke to you guys, it was just before your Kickstarter launch. On the day that it launched, can you sort of like talk us through what it was like?
Yeah, I mean, for me it was interesting because when you make the Kickstarter live, you don't know the link to the Kickstarter until you've made it live.
Yeah.
So Andy pressed the button and then just pasted the link, sent it to me, and I pasted it into browser. And I never ever saw the figure be zero. It was that quick, literally between the time he pasted the link and I pasted it back in. There was money just seemed to be flooding in. I couldn't believe it. It was just. I thought something must have broken with Kickstarter. That's not right.
Yeah, I'd gone home to pick up the kids, so I was sat there at home on my own, watching this money go up at a fantastic rate. Oh, this is absolutely amazing. You know, I've got to drive back into work, to see, to kind of share the moment with all the guys, because it was just a really special time.
I love the fact that even though you were launching this amazing Kickstarter, you're like, gotta go pick up the kids.
We knew from the messages we'd been receiving that we had some. We still had some great fans of the genre out there, but it just surprised all of us what we got, the response.
Yeah, it just seems like the support you guys have got has just been insane. Like, there's been like fan art and like songs and stuff. What are some of the coolest things you guys have had?
I think somebody remixed Dave Wise's song as and I think as an 8-bit, was it? Yeah, and that was pretty awesome. It was just like, wow, that's incredible. When you see the time and effort people put these things in. Somebody created an animated cartoon. I couldn't believe it. I was watching that. I was going, I can't believe somebody has spent all that time creating something that we basically just officially launched, a few weeks before, less than a week almost. And people just, they've taken to this really well.
Yeah, as you say, the fan art, the variety, the quality of it is just, I've never seen anything like it. So quick as well. It's just been brilliant.
And what has been some of the feedback you guys have had about the actual characters themselves?
It's been overwhelmingly positive. I mean, there's always little niggles, I suppose, from people saying, he really needs some clothes on, or oh, the bat's nose is too big, or maybe the chameleon's neck is too thick, but they're all quite minor things.
Who's saying that his neck is too thick?
Obviously, we read everything, so we kind of see everything. But there is kind of reasoning behind everything. Yeah. Nothing's done by accident. So
and there's a lot of iterations that we went through and you went through beforehand, wasn't there? Like on the clothes and things.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't just say, this is our first design. Here it is. Yeah. It's been through quite a long process of, over the past few months of refining it.
Yeah. I love the fact that someone's taking sort of umbrage with his neck.
Yeah, people have done their own Photoshop versions where they've made his neck, made his neck thinner, made his pupil bigger, and then you get people commenting on after, I really like the new one, and then people are saying that, I prefer the original. I noticed one comment on the forums after we released the GIF of the bat biting Yooka the other day. There was some guy saying, they've definitely made the nose smaller on the bat. I like it a lot more now, and nothing's changed. It's the same size. I think people are just getting more.
He will not be listening to this, and he will be very disappointed. he will be withdrawing his pledge, and he will be probably coming to speak to you personally.
That's an interesting point, though. Like, do you think, obviously, because you're funding it's not a strange way, but you're funding it by Kickstarter, so people almost have like a stake in the game. Like, is that something now you guys really have to be conscious about?
I think it's certainly something. If there's a lot of people voicing a particular opinion, we need to listen to them. But it is like you say, it's a tricky thing because in the past we just kind of gone the direction we thought was the right way to go. Yeah. But so far the way we've done it is we listened to what people have said, and we've said, okay, there's a lot of people who might be saying X, Y, Z. Let's think about that. Do they have a point there? What's the core of what they're trying to say? Maybe the thing they're suggesting isn't what we need to do. Maybe it's something slightly different. So.
Yeah. Another thing I saw as well is about whether or not who is the boy and who is the girl. Is there a boy? Are they both boys? Like, that was a thing that happened quite early on.
Yeah, that confuses me even now because there's so many people on the forum saying, I thought it was the other way around. And I find myself when I'm animating them, I'm thinking, I can't remember myself which is which. It's definitely Yooka's the boy and Laylee's the girl.
Yeah.
But I think that's because like you said, when you create them, you don't think of male and female. You just think of them as characters. When you
I think especially being just very stylised animals, I didn't want to just put like long lashes to make a female. I didn't want to go down that route.
So obviously we're playing Banjo-Kazooie here. Like, when was the last time you guys actually even looked at this game?
I looked at it yesterday, so I'm going to confess now. I looked at it yesterday. I looked at a speed run yesterday for about 10 minutes because I thought I should probably just check that I can actually remember something about the game. So I confessed to briefly looking at it, but actually playing it, I did play it last year actually. I was started playing through it then. So, but before that, probably quite some time actually. So
yeah, I've seen some speedruns. Those guys are absolutely amazing what they do. It was just unbelievable the things that they managed to figure out to shave seconds off the time. It's just
we
incredible.
watched them kind of almost continuously jumping in the Kazooie run to kind of save seconds. And then another technique they were using was, I saw some guy, he jumped past a jigsaw piece, and I thought, well, he's not collected that, he's going to waste time. But he jumped past it so that he could get to a flight pad, so he could fly and collect it while he's in flight, because he knew that when you're in flight, you collect it, and you don't play the collecting animation, therefore saving himself about 4 seconds. It was like, when I saw that, I thought, oh, right, that's why he's done it.
That's really smart.
Really clever.
Yeah. So let's talk about Banjo-Kazooie and the way that they started out there, because they weren't always a bear and a bird, right?
There was a rabbit that appeared for a day or so. He had like a wooden sword, but he didn't last long. And then
Killed the rabbit off.
And then Banjo came along, and people seemed to take to him.
Yeah.
I mean, the original.
Except obviously the creator of the rabbit,
Yes.
who will be watching this,
Crying.
and
Still drawing rabbits.
He will be tweeting us afterwards.
Yes, hello, Ed. Yeah, I mean the original Banjo, his head was a lot smaller as well. I think it was more befitting like the adventure style game he was in.
Okay.
And then when it got turned into the platformer, his head was made a lot bigger. I think that was mainly the only change. His head and neck were made a lot bigger just to suit the style of game.
Yeah.
And I think Kazooie didn't exist at that point. She only came along during the platform phase, out of need of a double jump.
Yeah. And what was that? Just the sort of going, right, how do we make him double jump in an interesting way?
Yeah, so Banjo had the backpack on and there was nothing in it. So the old double jump. It was just a fashion accessory.
Yeah.
Was it just was there anything intended to go in it?
I don't think so, no. This is just the way we kind of did it back then. So double jump we'll have some wings come out of the backpack.
Yeah.
And then, what about fast movement? Oh, we could have some legs come out. And then we had wings and legs, so the natural progression was to make a
bunny. Make it a bunny.
Make a whole character in the backpack.
Yeah.
And that's where Kazooie came on.
I think one of the things that a lot of people have, since the Kickstarter has become relatively successful, is sort of wondered why you guys could have never have done what you're doing at Rare. Was that just never an option for you guys?
I think it's something that if you're like a large corporation, you're trying to build the next, $100 million franchise.
Yeah.
Then you need to support the platform you're on. It may not be the right thing to go back to something that you might think isn't going to, hit those heights. So,
right. Okay.
And I think initially, if you go back to immediately after Banjo-Tooie, maybe that wasn't something that would have been that popular.
Yeah.
But maybe as time's gone on, it's grown in scale in terms of what people wanted.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that maybe none of us really were aware of. I think that's the case until, obviously with this way we're taken aback by the success of what we've launched on our Kickstarters. I think indication of that there's a lot of people out there who want this type of game, and maybe it's just one of those things that's kind of grown in the background over time and that is almost gone unnoticed.
Yeah.
And it's just now that people are talking about it more and more because it's, people's dreams have been realised, perhaps.
Yeah. And when did your Kickstarter end now?
It's on the Wednesday, the 17th of June.
So that's right bang in the middle of E3.
It is, yes. Yeah.
So you're hoping people will see the stuff that's coming out at E3 and be like, not really interested in that. Let's stick some more money into Yooka-Laylee. So if people want to donate to your Kickstarter, what can they do? Where can they go?
They can go to Kickstarter.com and then I won't spell out the entire URL, but if you can basically just search for Yooka, that'll take you straight there.
Excellent. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.